Hi, and welcome to our first day in the life video. We thought we would show you what a pretty typical day in our life looks like as full-time travelers. So today we're in Kyoto.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Kathy.
And we're Good Life Road. And we've been here in Kyoto for almost 2 weeks now. And we've seen a lot of the sights to be seen.
And today we're going to check out one of the most famous sites here in Kyoto, dating back to 700 AD.
It's the Fushimi Inari Taisha.
So let's go.
Platform 1, and we're getting off at Kyoto Station. So we've been in Japan for over a month now, and Kyoto's our third city, and we've gotten really used to the train system, and it's very convenient and super well organized.
Yeah, and this is what you want to get, whether you load it on your phone or just get the hard copy.
Yeah, the Suica card, or in Tokyo, there's another one that's really similar that functions just the same. And you can use it on all the trains, all the buses. You can even use it to pay at some of like the ramen restaurants along the way where they don't take credit card. It's either cash or one of these cards. They call it an IC card.
And you can load it with credit or with cash, which is nice.
Yeah. Whistle while you work.
The reason you see us doing just this one site today are two reasons, actually. One is the fact that it's kind of far away in Kyoto. It's one of the furthest out stops. But also, because we have the luxury of being slow travelers, we definitely spread out sites so at the most we'll usually ever do is like 2 sites in a day, because we also want to build in time to see the place itself and kind of feel the vibe and walk around the neighborhoods and that kind of thing. So you'll be doing that with us today too.
So while it's always crowded at these temples, especially here in Kyoto, it's extra crowded right now because we're here during the Sakura, which is the time of year that all the cherry blossoms are blooming. So it's the highest tourist time for all of Japan. But one of the neat things is you see a lot of the locals and tourists, but mainly locals, who get on their kimono dresses and get pictures under the trees. And so you'll see them walking around in their dresses as well. It's pretty neat. So Torii gates are at the entrance to all the temples around Japan, and they're supposed to protect from evil spirits coming into the temples. Another thing though here at Mount Inari is there's like 10,000 Torii gates on these trails. This Inari is like the rice, one of the rice kamis or the spirits is Inari, but it also has become co-opted by businesses and traders as their kind of like good faith spirit. And so all these Torii gates have been donated by businesses.
Show them the inscriptions.
Yeah, and so on the back of the Torii gates, the business names are inscripted. And so while they say there's around 10,000, the number's changing all the time because some are taken down and some new ones are being put up all the time.
These must be the little business gates.
The smaller businesses.
Yeah. It's cool.
So we've broken away from the crowd. We came out from under the Torii gates, and there are trails that just continue up through the forest up to some of the temples all over the mountain. And yeah, sometimes you just gotta break away, and still kind of crowded, but nothing like under those Torii gates.
It's a beautiful bamboo forest behind us.
Yeah, which you would never see if you were to stay under those gates the whole way. Beautiful. And then there's these little shrines all over this mountainside.
Where's Derek? Yeah. Believe it or not, even after a month and a half in Japan, we normally don't come across that many tourists in one spot. Kyoto has been the most touristed with concentrations of tourists. And that's because it's a smaller town and it's also got the history as it used to be the capital of Japan. So it's got a lot of history here. I want to show the
They're big.
thick. Okay.
So when we got up towards the top of that trail, after we left the Torii gates, it's gorgeous. And we decided on the way back down to try and lose the crowds. So we're going down a little road that goes back around down to town. And then it looks like we can circle right back to the train station pretty easily. I would highly recommend doing what we did. It's fun walking through this neighborhood on the way back. And we're about to go into what looks like a nice coffee shop called Charles 611.
Cafe. I think we leave our shoes.
Everything at Charles 611 Cafe is cute. So Charles 611 Cafe is so cute. It's in this neighborhood just on its own. I think it's actually the address of the place is Charles 611. But we got the margarita pizza. I got a matcha latte with soy. And Kathy, what did you get?
A caramel latte.
Caramel latte. Everything's wonderful.
I guess more than anything, the point is this cafe is maybe one you'll never find, but the fact of the matter is you can find places like this all over Japan and all over the countries that you visit. You don't need to just go by what you see on Instagram or what you see in Google Maps, because quite often the best places are just you're walking along, you need a cup of coffee, and you don't hold back by stopping in somewhere that you're unfamiliar with that you don't know anything about first. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. And hence, the way we got here was just leaving the crowd. We didn't want to go back through the Torii gates where all the people were. We hit a back road, saw Charles along the way to the train, and here we are.
But sometimes you don't even need to leave the crowd. Like in Rome, we would literally see a crowd out inside of one place, and then a place like 4 doors down that was fabulous that didn't have a crowd because it didn't have the Instagram write up or whatever. So just don't be afraid to go your own route.
Yeah. So one thing you always want to be sure you do, no matter where you are, because you never know when you're going to come upon it, is carry cash. Because again, a lot of the really neat stuff is off the beaten path, and they only take cash. So all throughout Japan, there's these little streets that like bikes and motorbikes can go down, but no cars. And they kind of zig and zag between all the homes in the neighborhoods. It's really fun, like a little adventure on these things.
So one thing I wanted to recommend, aside from konnichiwa and arigato, one of the best words you could ever learn is sumimasen, which is excuse me. And it basically covers like excuse me if you accidentally bump somebody. It also covers if you say something wrong or order wrong, sumimasen. But it also covers when you're trying to get somebody's attention, and it's polite. So it's a very good thing to learn. So I decided to walk over to Takashimaya, which is the old Japanese department store, just because it was nearby and Derek's going up to work, and then so I'm going to meet him afterwards. So see what kind of trouble I can get into. So we went to a Takashimaya in Tokyo, and while they have a lot of high-end brands, they also have some more down-to-earth brands. I got like a little leather crossbody purse for like really cute for like $65. Definitely would have been like $200 in the States. So I don't shop for much, obviously, because we're full-time travelers. I can't take much with me. But I do have to trade things out every now and then, or I need a specialty piece or something when the seasons change. So yeah, it's fun to look around. They also have a nice like home department in here, and I'll show you in a second. They have a bookstore too. Okay, I'm heading back now. As predicted, I only got a lip gloss, but it's always fun looking and seeing what the other places have. And I tried on a beautiful Japanese brand, a blouse, and so that was really nice. So we're walking along the Kamo River now. I'll put the name down below. this has become one of our favorite things to do. It's just so beautiful out here, and there's tons of bird life here. I've never seen so many hawks, so many interesting different colored ducks, not just mallards, but like ones with brown heads, red heads, and then egrets, and also, oh, I said hawks, blue herons, egrets, yeah. It's just bursting with life. And beavers. So we've seen beavers a couple of times. So that's been really cute. Just padding along. He looks like a little dog.
And it's beautifully lined with all the blossoming cherry trees. So that's another special part of it this time of year as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we wanted to share a little bit about our lifestyle living as semi-retired full-time travelers. You know, the key part of that semi-retired is that we're still working, and not just on this YouTube, but also as a consultant myself. And so, we, you saw earlier we stopped at a coffee shop and got some work done, which we do often. We work from our apartment, and so because of that, and that's part of what makes the slow travel lifestyle so conducive for us, because we're just working and living wherever we go. So that means that, like, for shopping and food, do you want to share a little bit about that, babe?
So we're working and living as we go, obviously. And so one of the things we also spend quite a bit of time on is, I spend quite a bit of time on, is cooking. So we have to do a lot of grocery shopping, and that's, I would say we eat a lot of our meals at home. Probably 75% of our meals maybe at home, and then of what we eat out, maybe between 50 and 75% of our meals at home, depending on where we are and how good the food is. And then the part that we eat out, we tend to eat 80 to 90% of the food from that country, especially if the food is unique and very interesting and delicious. So like here in Japan, we've been eating Japanese food, most of the time. So I said I'd revisit why we're going for Indian. Yeah. We've been to this place one other time, and we do love Indian food, and it was pretty good and a pretty good deal and a cozy environment. So we're going to go to that place again. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, that's where we're walking now. And and because we're in a place for a long time, we can find our favorites and we circle back to them not frequently, but we do repeats. We're not just like one time here. And then for exercise, like, we've walked this river like twice a day, pretty much every day. We get a lot of walks in. When we're out exploring the city, we get a lot of steps. But when we're working, we like to still get our walks in. Depending on where we are, we go to the gym. And we also like to fit in other exercise. Like if the pickleball scene is great, which it was in Vietnam when we were there, we do a lot of pickleball. I like to swim for exercise. So if there's a pool or a lake or an ocean, I'm out there swimming.
But here in Japan, and in Kyoto specifically, it's just been walking.
Yeah.
And then in Osaka, we may check out whether or not a gym makes sense, or to just buy some weights because we're there for a month. And in Tokyo, we didn't do that. One, because weights are heavy, and taking them back to the place would have taken out time that we wanted to spend exploring Tokyo. But we walked so much there that it really felt like a ton of exercise as it was. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's about it. And now we're almost to the Indian place, so we'll catch you there. Cheers. Cheers. Okay, guys, our food is here, so we're gonna dig in. Thank you so much for watching.
If you got value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and also subscribe and come along with us as we travel the world together.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.